Three, two, one.
You ready?
You're listening to the Real Pineapple Podcast Network.
Good evening, everybody. Thank you so much for listening.
It's like a steamboat coming into shore.
That's not really steamboat. Going off the rails. This is Hunter, and I'm here with Colin. Colin, how are you, sir?
I'm doing pretty good. I have to admit, I was a fan of that intro.
Oh, thanks, man.
It's
Yeah,
nice.
you gotta mix it up.
Nice and long and drawn out. It's good.
Yeah, you know, just like losing your virginity, or I guess the opposite.
Long and drawn out.
Yeah, definitely not like losing my virginity, but
Short and awkward.
yeah, like Hunter losing his virginity, or can I cook a hot pocket in this amount of time? Like which? But anyway.
Wah, wah.
I know, sad face, but you know, and the reason why we're just going off on a random tangent because I really don't want to talk about this movie we're about to review. This is one of the first times I went, you know what, we should totally just take our Sandy Wexler review and just anytime we say Sandy Wexler, put the week of, like, sub it in.
Oh,
like,
it's the same shit.
Dude, remember when Adam Sandler used to like Adam Sandler? I know it's been a while.
I mean,
but
I
can you
was
think back from-
I was a young kid, but yeah, like Billy Madison, like Happy Gilmore, Big Daddy, Waterboy. You know, I liked all those. You know, but then once it started getting to the range of like Little Nick,
Crazy Nights.
Little Nicky was the start of a bad trend.
I think he did 8 Crazy Nights and Little Nicky back to back, if memory serves.
Yeah, I didn't like Little Nicky at all.
Yeah, so I will say 8 Crazy Nights to this day is one of my least favorite movies of all time.
Yeah, that one's bad.
I hate that movie. And Little Nicky, while I would watch it over 8 Crazy Nights, I'm no fan of Little Nicky.
Yeah.
I think it's a really
Well, I
movie.
mean, the worst one by far was You Don't Mess with the Zohan.
You thought that was worse than Jack and Jill?
Well, I mean, no. To answer your question, no. Jack and Jill is the worst. But You Don't Mess with the Zohan was like the first like universally hated movie. I felt like where everybody was just like, "Whoa, what the fuck is he doing?"
Yeah, I here's the thing about Adam Sandler. I think this is what pisses me off is like I've seen him in interviews and stuff, and he's funny, and I go, what? Why can't you bring that into some of these crappy movies you've been doing? I know some people like Grown Ups. I think Grown Ups sucks, and I don't get why people. I mean, if you're comparing it to like Bucky Larson, then yeah, it's great. But I mean, Grown Ups isn't good. That came out the same year as The Hangover. And I remember reading some interview with him saying, yeah, we saw The Hangover and we were like, oh, we really need to bring it. And I was like, oh, that's how you bring it? Fucking Grown Ups? Like, that dog shit movie, and Grown Ups 2 is somehow worse than the first one.
Yeah,
Adam Sandler,
well,
yeah.
He did Grown Ups right after he did Funny People, which I thought was like the worst. What's Judd Apatow movie that he had done thus far, but he did that right after. So 2008 he did You Don't Mess with the Zohan.
Yeah.
2010 was Grown Ups, but before he did You Don't Mess with the Zohan, he did I Now Pronounce You Chuck and Larry.
Oh, I forgot about that. Wasn't Click like that same year too?
He did Click 2006.
Oh God, I hate Click.
And then he also did what was the other one?
Just Go With It? That it? Oh no, that's too far back. 50 First Dates?
Yeah, he did 50 First Dates.
There you go.
Yeah. But yeah, man, dude, he just was on a bad trend back then.
Yeah, and dude, I don't know if we ever reviewed it because maybe we just... No, we did. This was like way back in the archives, but we blended. He
Yeah,
talked about Blended, and that was horrible. I just
that was back in 2014.
yeah. Oh God, that's been so long. But the thing, I just don't think he fucking cares anymore because he's got this Netflix deal. He's getting paid anyway, so what the fuck does he care? And you know it.
His
This is
last
the thing.
his last movie in theaters was Pixels, right?
Oh God, yeah, that's right. And I remember you guys weren't fans of it. I fucking hated Pixels. I remember Pixels was close to if I was close to walkout for me. I fucking hate Pixels like to this day.
And then after that, like you just said, now he has this Netflix deal where he just has guaranteed money and he does whatever he wants.
Yeah, or and he did the Ridiculous Six and Sandy Wexler, and I don't know what else to say about this guy anymore, man. Like he's just it's the same shit. It's just him being really bad about something. And this is what I will say about this movie. If you hate Jewish people, this movie was made for you because every person in this movie is just a Jewish stereotype, like to the nagging mother or to the nagging grandmother, to the mother who's like, oh, like I saw, like my child is, like they have an itch, like you're a doctor, like what do they have, like this that over paranoid mom, and it just, this movie really just. I was really upset. I will say that. Kind of your thoughts.
Yeah, I mean, like all the jokes basically stem from like one, like Adam Sandler has a wacky Jewish family, two, like
Waka Waka.
yeah, Waka Waka, or two, Chris Rock has a wacky black family and they do wacky black stereotype things, or the Jewish family does wacky Jewish stereotype things. Or, and then like the most hilarious gags are when the two worlds collide. Oh my gosh, staying under the same house. I mean, oh my gosh, black people and Jewish people. What wacky gags. I mean,
Seriously.
It's all stems from like the most basic dumb stuff. And most of the gags like aren't funny though. They're like, it's nothing that like I would ever imagine was like a real life situation. These are all just like dumb jokes that would never actually happen.
I think what I found genuinely offensive about the movie is that it's acting like, it's like, oh, it's a celebration of these two kids, like, like getting together, and you don't learn shit about the kids, like, at all. Like, it would have been nice to learn something about the relationship.
No, the whole movie highlights Adam Sandler and Chris Rock.
Yeah, and more Adam Sandler even than Chris Rock, because it's about Adam Sandler, learning to let go because he's an overprotective Jewish dad, and I'm gonna get to that. But so basically, the shorthand version of this plot is Adam Sandler plays Adam Sandler. He's the protective Jewish dad, and his daughter's getting married to Chris Rock's son. And I think what is just hilarious about it, I don't think they even mention how they met, do they? I'm sitting here thinking about it. I cannot remember for the life of me if they actually bring that up.
If they did, I didn't care when they told me.
which speaks volumes. And all the Kenny, that's who Adam Sandler plays, and he has some job where I can't even remember what he does. It doesn't matter.
It doesn't fucking matter.
Yeah, he's his own boss, and basically
he's probably like a banker or like like a bill collector, some kind of stereotypical Jewish job.
or he. Yeah, he sews yarmulkes. I don't know, something very stereotypical. But he's organizing and paying for his daughter's wedding, which his daughter, played by Alison Strong, Sarah. So Chris Rock, and I'm just gonna say I love Chris Rock. I thought his last stand-up special, Tambourine, that's on Netflix, not his best stuff, but I did find some humor in it. This movie expects you to buy the fact that Chris Rock is like a surgeon, like a heart surgeon, and I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I had an easier time buying that Ludacris was a detective in that crappy Max Payne movie that he did than buying that Chris Rock was like a surgeon in this one. I just
the first scene where they show where he's like performing surgery was the most ridiculous scene I've ever seen. Like at least make it somewhat believable. Like when they showed Doctor Strange like performing brain surgery, like they at least tried to make it look like it would be like a real life surgery. Like Chris Rock was a joke.
Yeah, the movie definitely got off to a rocky start, but anyway, yeah, I thought you liked that one.
It was good. That was classic Hunter pun.
Thank you, but you are right though. Doctor Strange did a better job of depicting like how a surgery might actually go than Chris Rock, because Chris Rock uses the guy's finger to like ignore a call.
That's so really, bad, yeah. That's not even funny. It's just dumb.
You know what this movie reminded me of? It reminded me of like a Three Stooges short.
Oh my god, yeah, totally.
But like the worst, like if someone didn't
so
know
slapsticky, like old school slapsticky, where like people don't think that's funny anymore.
You know what this reminded me of? It reminded me of the last season of Mad TV, where I was this is not.
There was some. Well, I mean, let's be honest. I thought some seasons of Mad TV were funny, but yeah. It fizzled out pretty bad.
Yeah, I mean there was some good stuff in Mad TV, but that last season was damn near unwatchable. And they it's Adam Sandler Kelly. He has I think it's his granddad who doesn't have legs, and you want to talk about a joke they just would not let fucking die. It's that he doesn't have legs, so it's really inconvenient.
Oh like, god, that was terrible. And he like craps himself, like that one scene where like Adam Sandler was like oh man, that was a terrible gag. Wasn't funny. It was just uncomfortable.
So there's a scene where he lifts him. They're driving with him. Kelly is, and he goes, "Can you hold it till you got your Depends on or whatever?
Oh
Can you hold it till you get home?"
So
I have to take a shit. Oh, well, we're only like 3 minutes away. I'll give you 2. And he's like, oh, okay. And so he pulls off in his diner and lifts him out of the car because the wheelchair doesn't work. Like it doesn't open, which I just went, cool. All right, sure. So wacky. Adam Sandler's got to carry him to the toilet and sit there while he takes a shit. It's like, oh my god. And they take him to the bachelor party and let's throw him in a foam ball pit, and that's how he dies. I was like, Jesus Christ, movie.
Yeah, what a movie.
Like,
what a movie.
I think what made me really upset is that Robert Smigel, who's written for SNL, Conan, of course is the creator of Triumph the Insult Comic Dog, so he'll always be good to me. But,
a regular genius.
Yeah, exactly. But him and Adam Sandler wrote this script, and I don't think I got a laugh until 45 minutes in.
Well, we were all watching like the first hour together, and I don't think like me, you, or Scott, we miss you, bud. Like none of us laughed the whole time.
Yeah, I got a chuckle.
It was like silent.
Yeah, but this just I don't get it though, man. I just don't get how something can be this unfunny. And the thing is, and I know some people say
unfunny is the word. Like it's just not funny
at all. And I think some people will go like, well, this is more of a dramedy than a comedy. Okay, I'll take you on that point, and even the drama doesn't work here because it's Adam Sandler and his wife, who's played by Rachel Dratch, who, of course is a SNL alum. It never felt like they loved each other at all. Like they were just at each other's throats all the time, and she's yelling like, "I'm frugal. I don't like to waste money. Oh well, is that why you keep like water that comes from the rain or whatever the fuck he says?" It's like, oh my god, really? And there's this ongoing gag with Kenny, pardon me, where shit is just going wrong for this wedding. They're doing it at this hotel. The hotel is like broken down. Why he didn't just look at another hotel, they don't really explain. Like he mentions like, hey, I'll check if any other hotels have reservations, and nothing's ever made of that, which I just went, cool, all right. But the ceiling is like falling apart, water seeping through, and so there's this ongoing joke with him and I guess like the maintenance worker there, and he's like, "Oh, well, water's leaking," and the maintenance worker just laughs at him the whole time. I went, "Is this supposed to be like funny? Am I supposed to like care?" And I just, and the more I'm sitting there watching it, I'm just like, why is it so hard for you guys to just get? There's a scene where these two black guys are walking on the street, and Kenny grabs them. He's like, "Oh, hey guys, like breakfast is ready." And I'm just sitting there. I'm like, "Oh, so the joke is that he thinks that just because they're black, they're a part of Kirby, Chris Rock's character's family, and he pulls them in, and we don't know them." Ha ha ha! It's like, oh, it's like
such an
all
obvious
black
gag.
Like such an obvious gag. Like, all black people know each other. Like, like I could, like, it just, and I think what really upset me is at the end of this movie, the reason why Adam Sandler's been so stubborn, because Kirby, Chris Rock's character, he's loaded. Like, he's at this hotel in LA, and he's got some half naked girl on a piano and shit, which again, hard to believe, but Kirby has money. He's a surgeon. He has money. And he's practically begging Kenny, like, "Hey, man, like, let me call, like, the Ritz-Carlton or where the fuck. Like, let me get a venue. Like, don't worry about it." And Kenny's like, No, I got it. I'll figure it out. I got it. And at the end of the movie, he breaks down and goes, "It's the last time I'm ever going to be able to do something for you. I'm so sorry that you deserve better." I'm like, oh, fuck you. Like, you don't get to, in the bottom of the night, pull that bullshit out and be like, "It's because I'm insecure." Like, it's like, oh, fuck you kindly, dude. I hate how they try to get sympathy from him. And the daughter just like, okay with it. She's like, "I'd rather have you than any nice place. Like, I love you, Dad." It's like, oh. It's like, pass me a fucking bucket. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I just, the most egregious thing is to, like, you mentioned people would say, like, "Oh, it's more of a dramedy," Like,
Yeah.
You can't just look at it as, like, it's supposed to make you laugh the whole time. And I'm just like, I don't know if that's true. Like, I feel like Adam Sandler, whenever he's on screen, he's, like, desperately trying to make people laugh and like him, and he just doesn't do a good job of it anymore. And I don't think Chris Rock is that funny in this movie either. Like, a lot of Chris Rock's jokes are not funny in this. Like, Chris Rock and Adam Sandler are both, like, very unfunny in this movie, and the whole movie is centered around them and their relationship together, and, like, they're like the cornerstone of this whole movie being funny, and it's just not funny. Like, nothing's funny. Like, all the gags are poorly written, they're obvious, they're dumb, they're just, like, they all fall flat. Like, the punchlines or the jokes, I mean, it's terrible. And then, like you say, like, even if you are looking at it as, like, a dramedy, like, even if you are actually, like, interested in the drama of this storyline, which, God help me, I don't know how I ever could be, but, like, I mean, if you really were, like, just like you said, it's still cheesy and dumb and not even that remotely interesting. So, I mean, I don't know what there is to like about any of this. Can you think of one thing that was redeeming about this movie at all?
I think the girl who plays his daughter, she seems like she could be a good actress in something else. That's like,
that's hilarious. That's the nicest thing you can say about this movie. Is
like,
one of the actresses could maybe be good in something else besides this, because she wasn't good in this.
Alison Strong is what I'm thinking of. Yeah, she had some screen presence about her, and while Adam Sandler was definitely not holding up his end of the bargain, I thought she was. So, I mean, there's that, but yeah, you're right, though. The movie is so focused on Kenny and Kirby that none of the other characters have a chance to develop, and, it doesn't really matter when it comes down to it in the end. It's just Adam Sandler and Chris Rock trying to be funny and really missing over and over again. This is what I will say before as we start to wrap up and get to our grades. I had this an F for most of the movie. I wasn't a go fuck yourself. I was just like, I'm not mad. Like, I'm irritated, but I'm not pissed off. And then it was like the movie went, oh, hey, you know what would get us to go fuck yourself? Let's throw this plot in. So, the the hotel they're holding the wedding and the reception at, it's it's the one that's like flooding and there's like water dripping down, all that shit, right? So they've been hammering home the Adam Sandler's grandfather is a Vietnam vet, and just everywhere this guy goes, thank you for your service, thank you for your service. I went, I've seen people in the military and airports, and they don't even have people come up to them this much. But everyone in this town, thank you for your service, thank you for your service. I went, oh my fucking god, okay, sure, this happens. And so Adam Sandler, they get involved with the mayor somehow. The mayor like sees him and holds his press conference to give him a statue or like a certificate or like some medal for being a veteran. And Adam Sandler basically takes the microphone and goes, oh yeah, like he loves the veterans, he loves the military, he's actually gonna throw a dinner for my grandpa here on Saturday night. And the reason he does that is because the hotel they're gonna have the reception in is all flooded and fucked up. So that's Adam Sandler's extremely Jewish way of not letting Chris Rock's Kirby pay for another venue, but be like, hey baby, I figured it out. And it's just like, oh my god. And then you find out that Adam Sandler's dad or grandpa, whatever, he lost his legs from diabetes, not even from the war. And I'm like, oh, so that's cool that he played this often.
Oh wow, I didn't even know that.
Yeah, and I just went, oh, cool. So you have officially sealed your grave just off the storyline alone, and it's just the thing is, I know Adam Sandler's talented. I do. Because I saw Hotel Transylvania like 3 or 4 years ago, and he was surprisingly great in that. I mean, yes, it's an animated movie, but he worked really well, and it was a sweet movie. Actually, one of my favorite movies of that year. And I just, dude, I don't know what it's gonna take. I don't know if it's intervention time or what we need to do, but he needs to stop, man. I'm done. I'm just tired of sitting through these. Like it's like white Tyler Perry movies. It's like, okay, I know what I'm gonna get. I'm gonna get something racist. I'm gonna get a lot of jokes that are just not gonna land. It's really uncomfortable to watch these movies because they're just so genuinely terrible. And deep down, I know Adam Sandler knows it. He has to know. There's no way that one of his friends or his kids or someone hasn't been like, hey, man, like maybe you should, spend more than 2 days on the script. I'm Adam Sandler, fuck you. Okay. Like, it's like,
Yeah.
I'm just done, man. Like, and the thing is, like, I know he can do better. I'm very aware that he can. It's not like this. He's like some up and coming actor. Like he's been in shit. But whether it's this or Sandy Wexler or Pixels or Just Go With It or it's just been this constant barrage of just crap. Or The Cobbler, that Mean Scott review. I fucking hated that movie too. I don't know what else it's gonna take for him to finally just go, okay, maybe I'll start trying again. But I'm just done, man. I'm so done with this dude. I just don't care. And as I wrap up here, I can't think one time I laughed. I really can't. I'm sitting here thinking really hard. Okay, actually, I got one laugh. So there's this storyline with Kirby because he's a high roller and he's rich and He they're like setting up his room, like trying to make it like more look like an executive suite, but they're staying at like the Quality Inn or something.
Right,
like that.
Yeah.
And so the guy who's like laughing creepy, he grabs basically just like a bar to put in between, like put in like the doorway from the bathroom. He's like, oh, you can use this to work out. And Chris Rock just goes, or I can use it to hang himself. And that I was like, I got a chuckle out of that joke, but that's about the only like chuckle I can even think of. So this gets a go fuck yourself by default, honestly, just because I was sitting there just stewing in my chair. I watched this at home. Thankfully, I didn't have to go to the theater and see this shit. But yeah, man, it's gonna be on my worst of. Like it has to, just because that one storyline. And as I think about everything else, I'm actually getting more upset. So yeah, go fuck yourself for me. Colin, go ahead, man.
Yeah, it's just it's just sad how much I just know how much these movies are gonna suck now every time they come out. Like, it's crazy to have like someone that was so influential into like your comedic history, like when you were young. You know, like for me, like I just thought like Happy Gilmore and Billy Madison and a lot of his movies, he was just like the funniest guy to me. Like I just thought everything he did, it just made me crack up. Like I just thought he was so funny. And now his movies now, everything he does, I just roll my eyes. I feel like everything he does is more and more unfunny. And I thought he just brought Chris Rock along the ride on this one too. I thought Chris Rock was super unfunny. I just thought this whole movie was just unwatchable because it was trying to be funny and it wasn't. And honestly, it's just sad at this point. I just I just want Adam Sandler to go away because it would just be easier for him to not have anything ever come out again than to like every year something come out and you're just like, man, this is worse than the last one. So yeah, I mean, like you said, by default, this is a go fuck yourself. But but even just watching it, like it's 100% a go fuck yourself.
I will say, because I feel like we have to start grading these on some sort of curve because they're all starting to blend together for me.
Well, yeah, absolutely.
I did like this better than Sandy Wexler, just because.
Yeah, so it's like slightly in a better like category of go fuck yourself.
Yeah, I mean, it's still go fuck yourself, but it's kind of like
it still doesn't make itself into like the D range or even the F range.
Oh, absolutely not. No, this is more of like a go fuck yourself instead of a go fuck yourself. Like, you know, like
it's not as angry, right?
Yeah, but this shit, yeah, you will hear about this, about 9 months from now when we're doing our worst stuff and we're talking about this shit again. But yeah, I don't know, man. I think he's got 2 more movies on his Netflix deal. I think it is. So hopefully this shit can just be over and done with. And I don't know. Maybe I guess Sam apparently is touring here in I guess by the end of the year he's gonna go on like a stand-up tour.
What?
And I'm just like, yeah,
that's crazy.
Yeah, apparently that's what I heard.
I bet you his stand-up is terrible.
At this point, I just don't even want to take a chance on it. If it's anything like these last Netflix movies, I'm just like, yeah, I don't think I.
Yeah, if it's anything like his movies, it means he won't like do anything in preparation to make it good.
Oh, and then actually, now that I just think about it, I forgot about one other thing that pushes to go fuck yourself for me. The kids, they have the first dance and all that. And so, Kenny, Adam Sandler, he goes, oh, hey, your grandma filmed this for you before she died. And literally what it is Adam Sandler dressed up as the grandma singing a song. I went, God, why? And that's when I was just like, cool. I was like, as if it wasn't obvious to me. You just keep finding ways to make me go, I hate you. So, yeah, this wasn't to quote Zongo from Slam Salmon, not good.
Not good.
This was just really shitty, and I'm not looking forward.
Zongo won vodka.
Yeah, dude, man, what's funny? I actually had a couple beers while watching this because I was like, all right, I need something to numb the pain. But guys, let us know what you thought of this if you were unfortunate enough to see it. If you haven't seen it, don't watch it. You can follow us on Facebook, Podbean, SoundCloud, iTunes, and Google Music at The Real Pineapple. Go ahead and give us a rating, give us a 5-star. Let us know what you think of the podcast. You can follow yours truly on the Twitter at JHunterRealPineapple. You can follow our buddy here, Colin, on Twitter at
The Real O'Neill.
Very nice. And you can follow our buddy Scott on Twitter at Nearman1st. Guys, we are off this week because Hunter's going to be in good old Montana. I don't know how to say Montana. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. But we will be back weekend of the 18th to go ahead and talk about Deadpool 2, which I hope is good. Guys, thank you so much for listening. We'll talk to you soon.
Meow.